Good day, everyone. You are welcome to Soft Skills Academy. We are going to setting your IDE, and then you start coding with it. And we are going to start right from the Hello World program, which is the basic programming concepts that we usually begin with it. And it's like we don't have output. Please, someone should message. It's like we don't have voice. Our audio is not clear, right? Voice. Our audio is not clear, right? Let me check on my settings. Is it clear now? Our audio is not clear. Can you hear me right there, please? If you can hear me, please drop a comment. In Java programming, we use double forward slash in order to comment a single line. So while commenting multiple lines, print. So here we have another techniques. The techniques here is that we may decide to use ln, that is for our cursor to move to the next line, or we decide to leave it like that. Once we are done with that, so we can be able to write everything within a parenthesis. And if it is a string that we are writing in a parenthesis, so we should have what we call, we should have this double quote, then we now write hello world. We should put our semicolon. That's what we use in ending a comment. So we run it from this place. We can see run hello world, debug, whatsoever. So we are running this program now and wait for the output on the console. And as you can see here, we have hello world program, right? So with this we are done. So what we are going to do again next, we are going to look at the errors associated with our Java programming, and the errors associated with this can be able to run, but at the end of the day will provide or will end up crashing. 3, we have logical error, and our logical error our program from running, but rather you might in one way or the other use a wrong function or a wrong formula in your logics. So that is how these 3 errors associated with this Java, and we are going to look at them here. Let's assume at the end of this, or while coding, you forgot to put instead of a full stop in between the out and print, so you now write comma. So you see now this will stop this program from running. So if we run it, it will now return a syntax error. It means it stopped it from running, right? So we now fix it and then run it back. We still have our hello world program. So the compile error, we are going to do it the runtime error we are going to deal with later, but the example of it, assuming you want to divide any given number by 0, so this might lead to your program from crashing. And the logical error, instead of using multiplication sign, so you mistakenly use subtraction sign. So you see, this doesn't stop your program from running, but rather it harm your program from producing desired result. So that is for this. So what we are going to look at here, again, we are going to look at types and variable at the same time. So if we talk about variable, we know these are containers that allows us to store data in a Java program or in any programming language given to us. And the data types are the types of data that you can be able to store in a program. So such example of these data types, we have integer data types, we have float data type, we have something like string data, types, we have double, we have char, we have string. So all these are side types of database that you can be able to have into your Java programming language. So we are going to look at these data types and then have a variable. We said these variable are containers. That you can be able to store your data into them. So let's quickly create another class here, and we name this class variables. Right, and data types. So this is the name of the new class, and we want this our public static void to come over. So we are done. So you see now we have opened another tab, and our previous tab still remain in existence. So here what we are going to do, we want to have what we call declare an initialization. We want to declare a variable and see how we can be able to store. So let's assume we want to declare an age. So we have done it in one of the videos I did, I think recently, last week. So something like, if we are going to declare age, we know definitely age doesn't have any given fraction or any decimal places. So in these cases, our age is going to be integer, and we are going to have it int. Then we have our age as, let's say we are going to assign a value called 18 into it, and then we end our statement with a semicolon as usual. So here our Java programming is very case sensitive, where if you use h here as capital letters, it means during output you should be able to also use h as capital letter, not the other way around. So we have age, int age as 18. So we have another one called, let's say we have double, let's say we have double, and our double is going to be, let's say, price of a commodity can be a double, like can contain a decimal place or something. So double, let's say price, and our price is going to 0.10. So we have our semicolon, and then we also have car. Let's say our car, something like a grade. So it deals with a single character, right? A B C D F, or A B C D E F value. So we say grade, then in the grade, then in the grade we have something like, let's say A. So in writing our grade here, usually it's going to be within single quotation. So we still end this, and then we have a boolean. A boolean return a value of true or false. So we have bool, sorry, it should be double O. So we have boolean, which is going to be, let's say boolean is passed. Let's say pass, that is it pass or fail? So it's pass. So we are going to write it within a given string, right? Sorry, the boolean is, we have true, then we have our a string. So and our string is going to be let's say the student name, whatsoever name you have. Let's say name is, and we have it inside, should be capital S, this one, and see is going to come up. You see, this is an example of the bool value. So we have another one called grade, we have another one called grade. Exists an example of a grade, right, of a character of a grade, right, of a character. Here we are going to write grade. So let's assume, let's mistakenly have something like double capital G, and we see with this program will run into error. You see now, grade cannot be resolved to a variable. It's an exception in treat main method unresolved compilation problem. So it means I should either come back to write capital G, a small g here, or go back to this place, and now we have resolved this. So you see now, by just doing this, the direct line, we have resolved this. So you see now, by just doing this, the direct line disappeared, right? So let's quickly return it to the small letter G. So with this, we run this program again. We have it as A. So again, this have it as A. So again, this example, and so we run it again. We move. So we run it. Because of this issue of network, and so we'll now share it as a video recorded material. So with this sharp class, so we have, let's say, simple interest. So we want to have this normal interest. We need to look at something. We have a formula, right? And this formula is interest is equals to principal times rate, right? Principal times rate. So we have rate, we have principal, we have interest, three variables, right? So these variables, we are going to declare them one after the other. So in declaring this, let's say we said we have interest, right? We have interest, right? Our interest is going to be, oh, let's just have like this, bring out the variables. Then we have rate, then we have prince, we have this. So now what we are going to do, we know all these things deal with what, with going to have them as double rate. So if double principal. So here now what we are doing, we are just doing declaration. Then later we now do what we call initialization. And if in the same at the same time you want to declare and initialize, fine, it's not a problem. It's going to be, let's avoid circumstance of spelling error. Principal is going to be 10,000, right? 10,000. So we have rate at which you collected this is going to be let's say